yourselves back to the YouTube channel and here to talk about the semi-finals. It is the weekly sports show for the time being, maybe daily or every other day because of the World Cup. But of course, we have two games left, four teams, Croatia, Argentina, France, Morocco. Both games have been decided. The final is on Sunday. The third place match is Saturday. The Premier League and Carabao Cup is a few days and weeks after. Subscribe for more. Like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below in the comments if you've enjoyed the World Cup. Who do you think is going to win the entire thing? We'll talk about that at the end. But of course, let's talk about Croatia v Argentina, France v Morocco. Enjoy the video. So, it is looking like it's going to be either Messi or Mbappe's competition. The 35-year-old or the 24-year-old. Who will, or 23-year-old, who will lift the World Cup? It wasn't Modric's year. It wasn't Hakim Ziyech's or I was gonna say Hakimi, yeah. It wasn't Hakim or Ziyech's year, but a battering for Croatia in a 3-0 defeat, a penalty that should never have been a penalty. Martinez could never have got out of the way in time. He made his body big to save the shot, and ultimately it was the case of it ruined the game, giving into Messi's hands. You know, taking the thing away from his performance was magic. His assist to Alvarez being such a goal poacher. His penalty was fantastic, and an instant, incredible 3-0 win from Messi's Argentina. Some fantastic players in Alvarez, Dybala getting some minutes. You know, you think of the talent in this Argentina team. Without Messi, it'd be nothing, or it wouldn't get the appreciation. It wouldn't get the appreciation it does. But you know, Messi brings light to this team. I've watched this guy since 2006. You know, in the World Cup, I watched football. I've not watched football properly back then, but I've seen him since 2006 in the World Cups. Sarah Modric's been around for as long as I can remember. I think he's 35, 36, so he probably was playing in the 2006 World Cup as well. Don't think many people appreciate him as much because he was playing for Tottenham back then, but you know, in the 2010s onwards, when he was playing for Real Madrid as a different player, he did everything he could for his team with Brozovic and competition at midfield, Perisic up front. These players who've had great careers, but ultimately they're coming to the end of their career, a bit like Belgium, but on a different level, a different breed. It's a shame for them, but amazing to get to back-to-back semi-finals. And I think the thing is, never rule them out for the next one, but obviously Modric will be 40 by the time the next one rolls around. Same for Messi, but at least Messi's in the final and can fight one last time for the World Cup. Something Ronaldo, Modric, Neymar, and the rest of them will probably never be able to achieve again. Mbappe's been the player of the tournament. I think because, you know, with all the hype around Benzema and then him dropping out and Nkunku, and all these other players who could have had big tournaments with Mbappe. Mbappe's had to do it all himself, make Giroud look like a world-class striker. I mean, Giroud's fantastic, but, you know, when you've got players like Mbappe assisting you and helping you out, it makes you that much better. Um, He's been fantastic and phenomenal in many ways you could never expect for his age. And people I don't think you compare him to how Messi was at his age because Messi and Ronaldo sort of ruined the Ballon d'Or trophy. I think Mbappe would have a Ballon d'Or by now. But of course, you're still competing with the likes of Lewandowski and Benzema on the big stage. But he has been phenomenal. And I think this is why I want France to lift the Ballon d'Or. You know, he lift the World Cup because he won the World Cup when he was 19. He is now 23. He will, in many ways, because he's doing fantastic for PSG. And if he can win the World Cup and if he continues into next year doing fantastic, and you know, if he can lift the Champions League, then he could be a huge. I mean, he's always going to be a huge contender for the Ballon d'Or, but I think this could help him. But then you flip it. If Messi lifts the World Cup and has a good year with PSG and they can go far in the Champions League, he may lift an 8th Ballon d'Or. And this will be the decider, I think, for the Ballon d'Or. These two are two of the greatest players in the world. And Messi is one of the greatest players in history. And he's still doing it at 35. And I don't want him to win the Ballon d'Or again because I find it just ridiculous. There's so many fucking talented players. Players will never get a look in. Look at Haaland. Haaland's been insane for City. He should be in the top five. But if he doesn't win anything with City, he doesn't do anything for Norway. Why should he be in contentions? So there's a lot to talk about. I think Ziyech, Hakimi, the rest of the lads, and for Morocco getting to the semi-finals, the manager being the first African team in history to get to the semis in over 90 years, that is. I think it's a phenomenal achievement. I think there was just about too much riding on these two players carrying the Morocco team. I say these two, the rest of the team has been quality, but these are the two you look towards. You know, you look towards Mbappe, your Modric, your Messi. They are the players you look to. Without those two, they wouldn't have got any further. They wouldn't have got far because they brought that quality on the right hand side that they were utilising for most of the tournament. Not conceding any goals in the entire competition, bar the one own goal against Canada, is a huge achievement. And then obviously they conceded within 5 minutes a poor defensively orchestrated error, which led to Hernandez scoring a fantastic goal. And then it just ended, I think, 2-0, I believe. So France comfortably swerved past Morocco, a game which I think would have been harder for England because we make meals of things, and France went there to win. I think the final between Argentina and France is the final that I think we all wanted from these four teams to have a better game. Because if it was Argentina v Morocco, you'd go Argentina favourites. If it's France v Croatia, you know, France are favourites. Argentina v France is going to be fantastic. We have winners back in 86, winners back in 2018, the runners up in 2014 against the winners of the 2018 one. They lost 1-0 to Germany. France swerved past Croatia. So three teams who have been involved in the past three finals/semi-finals. As I said, newcomers Morocco. So there's a lot of history in these teams. There's a lot of amazingness to them. I ultimately think it's a tough one because people think it's biased and it's going towards Messi, but I just ultimately believe France have had more players of the tournaments in their team. You think of Mbappe, you think of what Griezmann's done, you think of what Giroud's done, Dembele's been fantastic, Lloris's been fantastic, Varane, the midfield in Tchouaméni, Rabiot's been great this tournament. You know, the defense hasn't been incredible all over. Hernandez has been a joy to watch. Upamecano, I find it's going to be brilliant in a matter of a few years. Koundé's adapted to that right back position, and the players coming off the bench have done so well. Argentina have simply relied on one person. The thing is, France haven't. Mbappe didn't do much in the England game, and it relied on a game with Giroud, Griezmann, Dembele stepping up, Tchouaméni scoring a screamer, and the defense stepping up as well. Mbappe stepped up in the last game against Morocco. It's about give and take. If Messi doesn't show up, Argentina go out of the World Cup. It's as simple as that. You know, he was the person who ran the Croatia game. He didn't step up in the Saudi Arabia game. That's why they'd lost. That's the manner of things. But ultimately, I am going to say France is going to win. I am going to say this 2-1 France. Messi will be on the score sheet, and Mbappe will be on the score sheet, and I think Griezmann will Giroud will get the winner. I think it would be phenomenal. I don't care about Messi. I don't care about Mbappe. If Giroud, for Giroud's sake, his last World Cup, maybe Griezmann's last World Cup as well, to see these players go out, giving their all on the pitch, playing 90 plus minutes of extreme football. If Messi lifts the World Cup, I will be over the moon for the guy. He is a legend of the game. And, you know, not many people can say they've lifted the Champions League, the World Cup, and the Ballon d'Or. You know, Mbappe's currently only done one, the World Cup. So Messi, I mean, Messi's lifted everything. He lifted the Copa America as well. So the guy is a fucking freak. But yeah, credit to all four teams. I have my bets on France, but ultimately, I don't care who lifts the trophy as long as they are. It'd be a dream to see Messi it'd be amazing to see France lift it back to back. Ultimately, I don't care, but I would love to see 5 different winners in my time. So in Italy, Spain, Germany, France, and Argentina. You guys let me know down below your thoughts, who you think is going to lift the World Cup trophy, and of course, subscribe for more. Goodbye.